I'm disappointed with AEW All Out 2022. Here's why. Alex, play the intro. You know what? Okay, Alex isn't here to play the intro. So I'm Chris from OPW Live. Welcome back to Power the Number 2 the Smarks. I sit here and I record this shortly after All Out went off the air. So I had to get something up and something off my chest here. I will probably be one of the many voices on the internet out here tonight to express this sentiment, maybe nicer in my way than others. Some people will shout about how AEW and about the show tonight, how much it sucks. I don't think that. Let me start with the good, because that's what we do here at Power Number Two, the Smarks, OPW Live. I was way more invested into the matches tonight than I was for Clash at the Castle and Worlds Collide. During Clash at the Castle, I had a video game up here on my second screen. During Worlds Collide, I prepared dinner, Anticipating a 5 hour show tonight, 5 hour plus, I had planned on playing a video game here on my second screen. Something about the show just captivated my attention from the beginning, and I never did. I seem to have maybe gotten my second wind in a way that I didn't for AEW's equally long attempt at Double or Nothing. I can't explain why I felt the way I felt tonight, but I was engaged with the matches, locked in. You know, I was locked in with the matches despite my increasingly building disappointment with the outcome of the matches and the story beats that were being presented to us. I noted to myself early on how hot the crowd was. We had Hook early in the night, and the crowd was crazy for Kip Sabian of all people. During 0 hour, the pre-show, maybe I had a sense that tonight could have been special with this crowd. I think most people would agree with me when I say that it's been a rough few months getting to this point. We had CM Punk's injury, some questionable booking, Thunder Rosa's injury. Basically people getting injured in the middle of their storylines, forcing rewrites and awkward booking. I felt like I felt like I was watching a show booked by Vince tonight. And what I mean by that is that the match results and the story beats seemed to be in spite of the fans. I understand that not every fan favorite can win a match. I understand that the crowd is not 100% representative of the fan base. I know that I'm not 100% representative of the fan base. When I told some friends that I didn't really watch Clash of the Castle, they were like, "What are you insane? That was the greatest show of all time." Hyperbole, of course. They don't really think it was the greatest show of all time, but that was a pretty good show, and that I was joking about not paying attention to it, but I really wasn't. But tonight, to me, felt like if you were backed by the fans, by and large, in the arena or just in general, you were losing. The night didn't start off great. The main part of the card with the Joker, air quote emphasis mine, winning a number one contenders match essentially for the world title. I think, that many people correctly assumed where this was going. The jawline was a dead giveaway for me. But, okay. You had this wonky finish, but that's all right because AEW is going to give the fans mostly what they want. Lots of fan favorites left tonight. The next match, the Elite went over the Dark Order. We saw this coming a mile away. It was well known that the trios titles were made for Kenny and the Bucks. I think having Dark Order and Hangman win would have been an exciting surprise, a treat for us at home, for the fans. But this match was good, and AEW has plenty of fan favorites left tonight, and plenty of moments fans are waiting for, so not a big deal. The TBS title match was weird. Athena and Jade really don't have chemistry together. I think Jade needs to feud with someone like Serena Deeb. She just needs someone more experienced. Athena's not it. But that's okay. We're about to see Wardlow powerbomb Satnam Singh. Never mind, that also doesn't happen. But Dax Harwood's daughter gets a feel good moment, and she kind of deserves it for everything she's had to go through, with her health. We can get a Satnam powerbomb another time. Plus, Joe is back from Twisted Metal. Cool. Wardlow and FTR winning is the outcome the fans obviously wanted. Make no mistake about that. But I feel as almost this is kind of the last result we got tonight that we wanted. Ricky Starks, he had gotten over so organically that AEW was forced to turn him. He's failed his last few big matches, so he's going to get his pay-per-view win here tonight, right? He gets nearly squashed. Then you have the Acclaimed, who have gotten over so organically this summer with Daddy Ass himself, and who had dramatic near falls that got the crowd to chant, bullshit when a pin was broken up awkwardly. No one's fault. Like, that stuff happens. But the fans completely turned on the match. Couple that with the story of Bowen's knee breaking down again, his body breaking down. This crowd was primed to blow the roof off the arena for the Acclaim. Have you ever? I've never seen this. I've never seen a crowd turn on Keith Lee. They turned on him tonight. This was such a special moment for the Acclaimed. Homegrown talent, AEW. Surely they have to pull the trigger, right? No, they don't do it. Then, next match, you have the crowd inexplicably behind Jamie Hayter. And I think more importantly, begging to see her and Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, put some respect on that name, to come to blows during this match. And then you book yourself the perfect finish. Jamie Hayter has the match won. Dr. Baker breaks up the pin. Then Dr. Baker, beats Jamie Hayter herself. Baker Hayter. That's how we're getting it here. Boom, you have this hot women's division story. Except you tease this incredible story, and then you just have Toni Storm win. I love Toni Storm. But if Toni Storm is going to win in predictable fashion, that's fine. Why do you tease a more interesting match outcome between Dr. Baker and Jamie Hayter and not deliver? It was by this point, this disappointment was starting to creep up on me. But then it was Jungle Boy getting his revenge on Christian. This is a safe story that would make everyone happy. A safe outcome. Jungle Boy comes down, gets his revenge. Crowd gets fired up again. Now, Luchasaurus turning on Jungle Boy was a shocking moment to me. I was genuinely surprised, and I like surprises in my wrestling shows, so that was great booking, honestly. But I mean, so Jungle Boy gets squashed after Luchasaurus turns on him, and so we don't get that satisfying Jungle Boy payoff tonight, which is fine. But if your plan was to have the Joker win a title shot, and also Jungle Boy to get turned on and squashed, how do you not have something for the fans to get behind the rest of the show? You'd think Bryan Danielson winning would be a safe bet, right? But he got a bad entrance, and then he lost to Chris Jericho. And then you have this hot angle you've been teasing between Miro and the House of Black for months, and Miro's up the ramp while the match is finishing. He doesn't even factor into the finish. He doesn't really get his hands on the House of Black. Finally, the main event. I just don't know what the point of it was. Let me explain. What was the point of the match 2 weeks ago if we were going to do this tonight? It was clear to me what they were doing, and this is why I think this had no purpose. They were doing CM Punk, the ultimate underdog, overcoming the odds. John Cena booking. CM Punk is not this character. He is not, and he cannot be the ultimate underdog overcoming the odds. That's not who he is. His character is the best in the world. He cannot wrestle like he got lucky to survive. That's what they did tonight. Character assassination. This is not CM Punk. CM Cena has arrived. This booking decision, I think more than anything else, has fallen flat with most wrestling fans. This this kind of booking that they presented tonight with Punk overcoming the odds, this is not why people like CM Punk. They don't want him. We don't want him cast in an overcoming the odds role. CM Punk is supposed to be everything pro wrestling is not. Tonight, CM Punk was cliche. And that is the worst thing that can be done to his character. And that, more than anything, is why I am disappointed with AEW All Out tonight. Then MJF reveals himself as the Joker, right? We knew that was happening. But he too was presented badly. They played a voicemail recording from Tony Khan saying that he will give MJF whatever he wants because Khan loves the fans. After they had gotten done positioning CM Punk into a character he is not, they cast MJF as a villain against someone who is not a worthy babyface foil. I'm not talking about Punk here. It's clear that AEW wants you to think of Tony Khan as the babyface and MJF as his ultimate rival. That's why they played that voicemail. You know, Tony Khan was saying, "It's the fans. I want you back because of the fans." It's to make Tony Khan look good and MJF to look bad so that MJF can play the villain. But it's so transparent in its purpose that it accomplishes the opposite effect. Tony Khan thinks he's a bigger babyface than he is. And you can hear it all the time with the way he promotes himself on Busted Open or in media interviews. He thinks he's the biggest babyface in professional wrestling. And it's clear. He has misjudged, I think, what the audience thinks about him and what the audience thinks about MJF. Yes, MJF is a jerk, but this jerk quality is not the core of MJF's character as he's been lately. You know, MJF has made legitimate complaints about the company and about Tony Khan. Yes, he's a jerk about it, but he's not a villain anymore. He's an anti-hero. You know, because these are legitimate complaints that he's presenting, and we all can see that. And trying to present him as the villain anyway, again, with us knowing what he said about AEW and about Tony Khan, really falls fucking flat. And then finally, just to cap the show off, he does nothing interesting at the end of the show. He just comes out and makes the belt motion. Ooh, who cares? So I'm disappointed. It just felt like a show where the powers that be wanted to book everything the way the fans didn't want. And when I say fans, I mean maybe the majority. You know, I feel like I have a good read on AEW fans. Um, you know, and then they wanted to force two of the characters at the top of the company into roles that do not fit them. I felt like I've wasted so much time on this show today. I love AEW and I love professional wrestling, but tonight I've been let down by something I love. I have no doubt that there are people who enjoyed the show in spite of its flaws, and I enjoyed parts of the show in spite of its flaws. I just couldn't ignore them this time. Nothing fancy here. Just tell us what you think down below. If you want more wrestling content, please hit the thumbs up, subscribe button. And if you don't like it, you can thumbs down too. I'm Chris from OPW Live, and without Alex, I'm also playing the outro. Peace.